We rolling. Shalom, we out here once again giving all praises to
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak
So, there's a lot of things going on in the world as far as current events goes. As many of us should know, the election is on Tuesday. So we got to see what happens with that. You know, they were saying how government officials are preparing for civil unrest. I mean, I guess that's to be expected after what you saw January 6th. You know what I'm saying? When they stormed the White House. So maybe they'll do the same thing again if things doesn't go people's way. You know what I mean? But personally, I'm not really expecting nothing to happen. I think it's just gonna be like a regular day. So you're gonna find out the president and that's it.
Storm the Capitol. What's it called? I was meditating on it. I seen brothers talking about it in they at camp too. Because right now, if you look at the polls, Trump is leading in the polls. But Kamala, she was forced on the people. You know, she came out of nowhere. So you know, they set her up for a reason. So she could very much win.
That's what I was thinking, because it should have been obvious from the jump that Biden wasn't fit to run or be in office.
It's not like Biden died and Kamala was next in line. He's still around. He just dropped out because the powers that be had him dropped out because the powers that be noticed the people ain't fucking with Biden.
He's not
like you.
Leaded, all the way.
Yeah, people just don't like you. You know, when people, if you ask anybody on the street what they think of Biden, it's something negative. So they figure, let's put this woman out in front. Because they think that chances, people would better accept her than Biden at the moment.
And who knows, that might have been the lead's plan from the jump. You know, we're going to let Biden, drop out, what was it, like 4 months before the election? 5 months, something like that. And then we're going to let Kamala run and take over. And then we're going to put her in office. Then it's going to get all these individuals that are on the right wing. It's gonna get them all mad, and then who knows? Then they'll come with like, the militias and stuff like that, and then it'll just go bad. Because remember what we saw in like 2020 when we saw all those people marching and protesting.
Yeah.
After what happened to George Floyd. They said that was artificial. It wasn't really organic.
I could believe that.
You know what I'm saying? They had like people already set up to like antagonize people into engage in that type of behavior. You know what I mean?
And George Floyd, like, when you look into his background, he was a rotten ass nigga. Like he was foul. I'm not saying it was justified on killing him, but I'm just saying it's not like he was a righteous man, so you have this whole world, whole insurrection for this guy.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. So they could be making the big fall and set up for the election this year. I don't know if it's going to be on Tuesday or if it's going to be on the inauguration day. You know what I mean? You got to wait and see. But like I said, I don't think anything's really going to happen on Tuesday. What you think?
I don't think so.
We just gonna find out who it is, and then that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, because I noticed like with the past presidential candidates and all of that, like the day you find out they won that night, and then you go out the next day, it's like life is still life. Like nobody really cares that much. People care in the moment, or they act like they care, but people don't really care because it really doesn't affect their life. It's still business as usual. Should I hope something happens though? Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I hope something happens.
I hope so, but when things is gonna hit home, is when it's like a 9/11 style event or something like that takes place, or if it's like war that's taking place or going on. You know what I mean? That's when it's gonna hit home. So I highly doubt an insurrection because of the election is gonna be the reason why Jacob's trouble happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's steps away before that happens. You got a preset?
Yeah. Matthew 6:33.
This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High.
Seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High. Because the way that we know life as it is, it's gonna deteriorate. This is temporary. You know what I'm saying? Living in a society, living under this government structure. You know what I'm saying?
It says, and his righteousness and all these things shall be added unto you. It says, take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself.
So that's talking about like worry. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not worried about who the next president is going to be, because it's not going to be a factor in our life. We know that whoever gets into office, they're not going to put laws into place that benefits us as a people. It's impossible. The way that this government is set up, it's slow and awkward, and things never really get done.
Kamala Harris said that literally, like verbatim. Like she was like, I don't have any plans that's particularly for black people. She said that. So she's not even thinking about them.
Right.
It says, take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof.
Yeah, read that in the NLT.
Again, Matthew 6:33 in the NLT. Seek the kingdom of the Most High above all else. And live righteously, and he will give you everything you need.
Yep, because in the kingdom of heaven, I mean, we're going to be blessed. We're not going to have any worries. We're not going to have to worry about paying bills, working a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? That type of stuff.
So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today.
Yeah, so take it day by day. You know, even now in this kingdom on this side, you know, we live day to day. You know what I'm saying? We don't get ahead of ourselves. We're so where our feet are right now. We don't think too much in the past, and we don't think too much in the future. You know, we just focus on the task at hand. First things first. You know, get through the day. You know what I'm saying? Because there's many worries that we can have. You know, we could worry about tomorrow. You know, a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just best to just focus on the task at hand now. Of course, we know that we have a bright future ahead of ourselves. You know, that's motivational. However, you know, we understand that we still here. We still in Babylon the Great. It's not fun being an American, so, you know, we do what we do to get through the day. Each day, day by day. And of course, living righteously. You know, the scriptures, it helps console us. You know what I'm saying? It comforts us, especially in like certain situations.
That's it.
You got a precept?
Yeah, this is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 36. It says, for ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of the Most High, ye might receive the promise.
Yeah, what is the promise?
The kingdom of heaven.
The kingdom of heaven, the new covenant.
And it says, after you have done the will. So you're going to have to fight this fight all the way up until the end. It says, for yet a little while, and he that shall come will come, and will not tarry. Now the just shall live by faith.
Live by faith, because the kingdom of heaven is something that's within our minds. You know, we can't touch it, see it. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that we believe in. We got faith in.
It says now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul.
Yeah. So it's like we're really just putting all our trust and faith in Yahweh Shai to deliver us. You know what I'm saying? We're not trusting in the government system or a politician. If you notice, Jake doesn't really take this type of stuff seriously. You know what I'm saying? The election season comes around, there's always Edomites that go hard for it. You know what I'm saying? They'll wear their pin that, that says, I voted. Or, they'll rock the American flag. They'll put it up in front of their house. They'll put it on their car. They might even put it at their desk at work. You know what I'm saying? They're all Americana and stuff like that. Jake's not like that. Because we know that we've been wronged in this country. And it's been going on like that for years and years.
We really don't have no skin in the game. Like, we don't have a horse in the race, a dog in the fight, none of it. We're advocates for the kingdom of heaven. That's all we want.
And if anything, Jake might vote and then he'll just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? He's not really like all that fanatic about voting and stuff like that. Talking about, this is the most important election of our lifetime. Our ancestors fought for our rights to vote.
Hear that shit every 4 years.
Yeah.
The lesser of the two evils. Evil is still evil. That's like asking somebody, would you rather your engine blow out or your transmission give out? It's like it's both terrible either way. Like what kind of options are those?
You got like a blown head gasket. What's the difference between that and the transmission?
Yeah, it's like you're damned either way.
So you do got them type of Jakes though that do be like going hard to some degree, but it's not really on the level of like Esau. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a culture for Edomites. Come election season, it's like a culture for them because this is like Rome all over again. You know what I'm saying?
And for these older Jakes, man, it's always the older Jakes that push that voting shit.
Yeah. But the younger crowds, most people don't care.
It's like they care for the moment.
Yeah, but you do have some. You do have some.
I'm telling you what, you're gonna see Tuesday, you're gonna see it all over people's Instagram, all over social media with the I voted stickers on them. Like you're gonna see it. That was it in that. So let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 21.
Some people they on the low about it. They be like, yeah, I voted, but I'm not really disclosing who I voted for. You know what I'm saying?
That's a private matter. That's between me and the election booth. This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 21. It says, ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
So you gotta pick a side. You can't have it all. You can't have it both ways. So you want to stay on this side of America, or do you want to seek the kingdom of God first?
People are here, they're not worried about the kingdom of heaven. They're really putting their faith in this voting system.
They don't even believe in the kingdom of heaven. They don't even understand the construct of it.
They don't understand it's going to be a place that's lived out here on the earth. They think it's really like just something that's up in the clouds, you know?
Some people believe they're already in their kingdom.
Esau. Yes.
Esau. But they realize that they're losing it. It's falling little by little. That's why they be going so hard for this country in the election. They're like, you know this Trump's narrative? He's like, we're only just days away from trying to save our nation. Why is he talking like that?
Yeah.
Posed as a savior. Because he realizes that this place is going up in flames. Slowly but surely.
America's been on the decline.
It's been on the decline since the late 60s. Right?
Yeah, them days are over. $800 rent, all that shit is over with. It's never gonna get better.
$1,600 for a studio.
Or one bedroom, 500 square feet.
$1,500 for somewhere in the damn dump.
Yep. Don't even got a kitchen in that motherfucker. Not a stove or nothing.
And if you want a 2-bedroom, oh, that's gonna cost you $2,200.
Yeah.
Or no, $1,900. So then you figure, all right, if it's $1,900, that means I gotta go half of somebody in the rent. Maybe you can cover it yourself, but even still, what's half of $1,900? $900?
Yeah.
That's a lot. On top of all the other bills you may have to pay, your car insurance, your car note, cable, internet, cell phone, groceries, gas. Get that scripture where it says that we're subject to payments. So people are finally like starting to realize that it's hard to live. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, we've been privy to this. Like, we've been feeling this way. How it doesn't make any sense for us to languish under this capitalist system in America. It doesn't. But since inflation has risen and the cost of living has gone up, people are putting two to two together like, yo, something's got to give. We can't keep living like this.
At the end of the day, no matter what you do, you lose. You build yourself up, become rich in this kingdom just for your house try to come back and destroy it all anyway. And destroy you with it. I got that scripture. This is Baruch 3:8. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse.
Because America is our captivity. You know, we're not slaves to the degree of 200 years ago. You know what I'm saying? When we hardcore shackled. However, the way that we have to pay bills, it's like we're not slaves, literally, like I said, but we're slaves to the point where we have to be subject to payments and bills and, you know, adhesion contracts. So
you don't work, you don't eat. You can't live. You can't be on the grid. You can't live in America without having a means of income. You have to have a job. You have to have a bank account. These aren't optional things. These are things you have to have.
You have to pay taxes. So I mean, that's slavery.
It's slavery.
We might as well be slaves.
You're paying tribute to somebody else, which lets you know you're a subject in slavery.
You buy a car, you got to go to the Department of Motor Vehicles, or you got to register. What?
Right.
Like, why you got to do all that?
You got to keep redoing it.
And you got to pay a fee.
Every few years, you got to keep renewing it. You got to have insurance. All forms of payments. That never stop either. It's not like you live, all right, I'm good. I live up to my 70s. I'm retired. I don't got to worry about making payments no more. You're going to have to pay bills to the day you die here.
They say that there's two things that you can never escape.
Death and taxes.
Death and taxes.
Baruch 3:8 again from the top. It
That,
says,
that's a goddamn shame.
right.
You know, I was actually what's this guy, Hassan Campbell? I was watching this live, and he was going into the election. That guy, he's siding with Trump.
Of course he is. I already knew that.
He missed me with that.
I already knew that.
But he was you know, going into how these Edomites, they're pissed off about the system the way that it is. Like, it was going into how we're taxed on literally every facet of our lives. And they was insinuating that Trump is going to be the savior and fix all that. How the hell is he going to fix that? So you mean to tell me if he gets into office, he's never going to have to pay taxes again? You really believe he's going to put in the tariff law to get rid of taxes? Like, that's going to help us to fix anything?
Right.
These people are delusional. That's why we're way past politics. But anyway. Read what you got. You got something?
Yeah, it's Baruch 3:8 again. Baruch 3:8 says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord our power.
Yeah, so when the Israelites get away from their power, the Most High, that's when we fall. So that's why in these last days, our people, really, it's going to be the elect of our people. They have to come back to the Most High. And the elect, they can't be touched in the sense where they're not going to get delivered. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, the mark of the beast, this is the minister, the elect, they're not going nowhere near that. They're already going to know better.
They're gonna be dragging us to the guillotines. We're still not going for it.
Yeah, we're just gonna accept our fate at that point.
Because the way this life is set up, man, you know, death is a release. Free from all this fucking oppression that you go through on a day-to-day basis living here in America.
Man, this earth that we live in under right now is nothing.
It's polluted.
It's terrible.
Other apostle Gabar, he said this is a cesspool. This is exactly what it is.
I was watching this interview with this guy. He was on that show with Diddy, making a band. They interview him from time to time, and he was saying how he's like, man, Earth is whack. And I was looking through the comments. People was like, yo, I felt it when he said Earth is whack. He was like, yeah, I'd rather be with my loved ones. He's like, aside from my son, Earth is whack.
Yeah, see?
Because there's nothing but pain on this earth. I mean, what do we have to look forward to?
That's the vibration here in America. You know, people could go on Instagram and social media, dress it up, make it look nice. But we know, man, everybody in this bitch is depressed. Everybody in this bitch is going through something. Nobody's really happy.
I mean, is the chain around your neck really going to make you feel that much better about yourself or your situation?
The FRNs in your pocket, you know, doing all this shit. Stacking it, you know how they like wipe the money on their arms, have a whole shit. I'm like, dude, come on, flashing your money, throwing it in the air. Like, what the fuck is this?
So is life really this bad to the point where we just have to focus on the little things, the little moments that brings us some joy?
It is. It is for real. You be finding your little creature comforts, and then you'd be like, you know, it just brings you a little solace. But I got a preset.
I got one, so you can bring it up.
This is Jeremiah's quick one. This is Jeremiah 2, verse 13. It says, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
Is Israel a homeborn slave?
The answer is yes.
It's a rhetorical question. I mean, he is, but he isn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now, in this state of mind, in this captivity, he is. It says, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
Spoiled meaning like oppressed, you know, robbed.
That was your preset? That was it on that. Jake walking around here, you work your whole life, got nothing to show for it. You think voting, you've been voting for 20 years, ain't nothing in your life changed. The only thing you could do at this point is try Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. You done tried everything else.
Tried the Black Panther Party.
The Rainbow Coalition.
You tried the Martin Luther King movement. And it's like every time Judah rises up, they always get put back down. You know what I'm saying? You see what happened with that movie, Judas Iscariot with Fred Hampton?
Oh, Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah, Judas and the Black Messiah.
Shit, even with the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Completely eradicated that place. Jake was doctors, lawyers, judges, built up a whole city. They had their own hospitals, all of that. And what did Esau do? With his perpetual hatred that he has for you, he came through and spoiled your land, spoiled your whole that section that you had. And what happened to the people that did that? Where are they at now?
Exactly.
Even with the in Manhattan, what's that park? That park that goes for miles?
In Seneca Village or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Whatever.
Where what it is now, it's just a park. Ain't no headstone or nothing, no statues or nothing to let you know what was there before what's there now. But they don't know. They wipe away the history. That's Esau's MO.
Yeah. Get Ecclesiastes 10. and
Central
7.
Park, that's what it's called, Central Park. That's what it is now. But do the history on what it was before.
Ecclesiastes 10 and 7.
10 and 7.
I think the name of it is called.
Yes, I think Seneca something. That sounds about right.
Let me see. I'm gonna Google it.
I'll read while you Google. This is Ecclesiastes chapter.
Yeah, Seneca Village.
Seneca Village.
It was a Central Park.
And a headstone, a monument, a statue, nothing to let you know what was there before. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 7. It says, I have seen servants upon horses.
Service upon horses. Because, actually, let that finish. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
So who's the princess?
Princes are the Israelites, but the servants, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. He's the one that's on the high horse in this society, in this kingdom, but he's really the servant. We're the princes, but we're the ones, he got a chain on our neck, walking us while he's on top of the horse.
Exactly. You just broke it down. So, remember that scripture you read earlier where it says, is Israel a homeborn slave? Really, no. Because Israelites are the princes of God. We're really supposed to be in our rightful place ruling over the world. And we will be soon.
And you have this statue here of Teddy Roosevelt on the horse, but he has, Gad and like shackled up while he's on top of the horse. That's the depiction. I'll show you.
Remember I did a video about that.
Yeah, that's like, it don't get no clearer than that.
And we all know the history of the Native Americans and how they was robbed of their land and resources.
You don't even see them no more.
Because you know how when they came over, Esau came over on the Mayflower, they didn't know how to survive the winters in America, especially on the East Coast, right? So they taught them how to cultivate the land and farm. They had the three main crops. Let me see if your memory is good.
Tobacco, that one.
Yeah, tobacco was one, but they had squash, beans, and I forget the last one.
Yeah, they taught us that in school, I remember.
Yeah, squash. They grew squash, beans. I'd be sitting up in class. I'd start getting hungry. Talking about squash and beans. Cook that up with some rice. Good. Get you some stew going. And you know how they was hunting buffalo.
Yep.
So that's how Gad was surviving. He was living. And then Esau came over and messed it all up. If you think about it, could you imagine if America never got colonized and it was just Gad, all the various tribes over here just living life? Like, it would probably be like a much better society.
Boy, no thought about it. It definitely would be. Esau, that's his MO. He just comes through and just destroys everything he touches.
Because it wasn't no property tax back then, or having to work a job. You really just worked for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You had hunting and gathering skills. But here Esau comes for this colonization and this industrial revolution. That's when you start getting like that microwave lifestyle. Everything is convenient, everything is fast. which is also tied to capitalism. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's how you get rich in America is by providing a service, being the middleman. And that's exactly what Esau has done. He found out a way, he figured out a way to take some land, bottle up some water, and sell it to you.
It's like what the fuck the Louisiana Purchase. Who are you to say this land is yours? Who gave you rights to this land?
They're like, oh, we gonna take the land, but we'll break the wall here. Just take that hush money. What if they didn't ever wanted to give it up?
They was gonna give it up.
But you know, originally Louisiana was owned by the French.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why you had the, what was it, the French-American War? They actually went to war, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. Look up that war. French-American War. They also went to war with Spain because America was occupied by the French, the Spaniards, and of course the British, and Mexico, which is also tied to Spain. So
Yeah, the French and Indian War.
yeah, French and Indian War.
It says the French and Indian War from 1754 to 1763 was a theater.
1750s.
1754.
So they said that America was founded in 1776. So there was a lot of bloodshed that had to happen in order for them to really claim and conquer this land.
Said was a theater of the 7 Years' War, which pitted the North American colonies of the British Empire against those of the French, each side being supported by various Native American tribes. At the start of the war, the French colonies had a population of roughly 60,000 settlers, compared with 2 million in the British colonies. The outnumbered French particularly depended on the native allies.
So that's a shame. Gad, he actually fought on the side of his oppressors. You know, and I guess that's that crab mentality. We've been seeing that.
That is simple though.
Yeah, we've been seeing that since the beginning of time, that crab in the barrel mentality. They're like, well, we can't fight their future. I guess that's what they figured, so we might as well try to end up on the better side of things. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they seen that the world was shifting. The white man was taking over.
Show you that in that movie, Killers of the Flower Moon.
And then they even have the saying, how's it go? Something destiny. Manifest destiny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was the mindset of Esau. He believed that his destiny was to take over not only just America but the world. And he was right in a way. He was right. But the way he went about it was cruel. Because ultimately he touched the apple of the Lord's eye, which are the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? So for that alone he's gonna have to pay on top of other things. So there's no way that the Most High is gonna forget all the wrong that Esau has done. This payback is coming.
Right.
You got a piece of it? I got a piece of it.
Yeah, good.
Habakkuk 2 and 6.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him?
So who's the him? The him is Esau.
It says, a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
And we were just talking about how they got America, how they took it from the Native Americans.
says, how long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
So that word clay means debt. So this is a debt-based system that we live in. Why do you think inflation has gotten worse over the years?
America is ran on debt. They have what you call fractional reserve banking, and all that is banking that's ran on debt. You know, they only have to have a certain amount of actual money in the bank, and then they lend out on money that they don't even have. They give people, loans for their homes or for a vehicle, but they don't really have that money on hand. So that's just a collapse waiting to happen. That can't go on forever.
And on top of that, the government owes money to U.S. citizens, whether it be through Social Security, because eventually you're supposed to cash in on your Social Security once you reach a certain age. So that's money right there that the U.S. has to owe to people.
It's like, what's that? What's the national debt now? Isn't it like 15 trillion?
It's like 35 trillion.
35 trillion. No president is going to get us out of that. Well, not us, but America out of that. You can't pay back $35 trillion.
And not only is the U.S. in debt to citizens, it's in debt to other nations, other countries,
right.
Like China. China really got the game in a chokehold.
Yeah, they make everything.
Nothing is manufactured in the U.S. And when it is, it costs a lot. Why are they gonna manufacture something in the U.S. when people have rights in the U.S.? They're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna need premium pay.
I'm gonna need healthcare.
Why do you think they fought so hard to get rid of unions? They said, oh, y'all want to unionize? All right, well, we're just gonna divert somewhere else. We're gonna start manufacturing and producing in another country where we don't even gotta pay them much money.
Pennies on a dollar.
Look at the back of your clothes. It's not made in America.
Made in Vietnam.
Honduras. Korea. Bangladesh. You see everywhere but America.
Right.
All these places is manufacturing all these goods that get sold in the U.S. But how well are their economies really doing? You know what I'm saying?
That's why the companies, they go over there to exploit the cheap labor. That way they're making money hand over fist now. And that's also what attributed to the downfall of America. Being greedy.
Greed is like the worst thing.
Yeah. That shit, it eats within,
The scriptures say that for the love of money is the root of all evil. Your love for money comes from you being greedy and stingy. You want to have all that money for yourself, but you don't share none of it.
Covetous. So this is, again, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay? Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and the wake that shall vex thee?
Yeah, because the amount of debt that America is in is going to catch up. It's going to end bad. And we're hearing rumors now how about the societal collapse and the financial collapse is imminent. Especially now, when you take a look at the moves that BRICS is making, trying to get rid of the U.S. dollar being the world reserve currency. They already have their moves set in place. So this place is a sinking ship.
So life support.
That was the only thing that America had left. It was the fact that it's the world reserve currency, the U.S. dollar. They trade in oil, or you got to do the petrodollar. You know what I'm saying? So that this whole debt-based system is collapsing everything slowly but surely. That's why they're shifting their focus towards another way of commerce as far as like oil. You know what I'm saying? BRICS even wants to come up with their own form of currency that's backed by gold and resources. Gold and resources, which the U.S. dollar used to be backed by gold, but once they deviated from that standard, which was what was that around like the 60s?
Probably before that.
It's probably even before that. Yeah, but once that happened, that was the start of the end, financially at least. Because you take a look at how prices was, let's say like the 40s or like the 60s for like a house or for like a car. You know, for a house you probably pay like 10,000, depending on what era you're talking about. And now you look at it, you can't even buy a house for like 100,000, 150K. What house you gonna get for 150,000?
Depending on where you at.
So what's up with that?
I got something here. It says though the post-war Bretton Woods system briefly tied the value of the U.S. dollar to a specific quantity of gold, economic inflexibility and limits on a government's ability to adopt monetary strategies forced the U.S. to abandon the gold standard in 1971.
Oh, so it was the 70s, 1971.
It says the U.S. has used fiat currency as its monetary system. So this money, it's really worthless. It has as much value as monopoly money, but it's just people have a respect for it. Like, okay, this is worth this, but ultimately it's really worth nothing. And these people are gonna find that out when you have crispy honeys just flooding the streets. People just walking over it like it's nothing, because it really is nothing.
The only thing the U.S. dollar had was, I guess you could say still has, is a military backing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they got military bases in countries around the world trying to flex their military might to make sure that resources stay within the grasp and the hold of the U.S. But it's shifting. It's shifting slowly. You know, I believe Saudi Arabia is the number 2 country for oil reserve, and now that deal has ended with Saudi Arabia and the U.S., they're shifting their focus towards another form of currency to trade in, like I said, and it's not going to be the petrodollar. But the whole reason why they had that deal set in place with the Saudis and the U.S. was because that they agreed that the U.S. military would back up the Saudis for the conflict that they had at the time, and they had like a whole deal set in place, a contract.
Yeah.
Henry Kissinger went over there and he worked it out.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia is number 2, and Venezuela is number 1.
Yeah, Venezuela is number 1, but yet they're so poor.
Destitute. Down bad.
Remember when they was in the streets, eating garbage, eating out of dumpster cans?
Wheelbarrows full of money, just currency. They can't do nothing with it.
So America's about to be the new Venezuela.
Yeah, their whole financial infrastructure is ruined.
And once that happens, people are gonna lose their minds. So if you ask me, America is on its last leg.
Hospitals.
I believe that BRICS is really just a setup because they understand that, like, you know, this place had a good run. You know, all good things come to an end.
Right.
So we might as well just, you know, set up another structure or system in place to replace this one once this collapses.
What goes up must come down.
But it's going to be the same thing because all countries are going to shift towards digital currency, pursuing to Revelation 13 and 16.
So,
And then once they do that, there's nothing that you can do that they won't know about.
at all.
Every purchase is going to be monitored.
Where you at?
Every tax is going to be paid.
Tracking your movements, studying you.
No more cash for your mechanic. No more,
Your drug dealer.
no more nickel and diamond on the streets.
No.
Yo, sour.
No more shoebox money. No more under the mattress money. No more under the table cash. That's all gonna be done away with. You know, here you can kind of subvert taxes, kind of here. When they put that system up, ain't no more of that.
Exactly. And that's a government's dream. Just think about it.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 7. It says, "Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake, that shall vex thee? And thou shalt be for booties unto them." Booties as in, spoils. It says, "Because thou hast spoiled many nations, and all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, for the violence of the land of the city, and of all that dwell therein."
Read that verse in the NLT.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 8 in the NLT. It says, "Because you have plundered many nations, now all the survivors will plunder you."
Yeah, so the tables are going to turn. It's going to get so bad in America to the point where people are going to be clamoring for a new system to be set in place. They're already doing it now.
Yup.
They're like, we can't deal with this inflation. Something's got to give. So what Esau's going to come with is his NWO agenda, which is tied
The sea hip.
to the sea hip.
Shit, as fast as you get your money in, as fast as it goes out.
So people are going to be clamoring for a solution.
Yep. And we ain't even, once that hyperinflation kicks in, whoop. So, Habakkuk 2 and 8 in the NLT says, "Because you have plundered many nations, now all the survivors will plunder you. You committed murder throughout the countryside and filled towns with violence. What sorrow awaits you who build big houses with money gained dishonestly? You believe your wealth will buy security, putting your family's nest beyond the reach of danger. But by the murders you committed, you have shamed your name and fortified your lives." That's the point right there.
Yep. So it's like the very thing that Esau loves, his NWO agenda, it's going to backfire on him.
Yep. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 8. It says, "Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is transferred from one people to another." And that lets you, like this, all it is by the work of the Heavenly Father. It's not like Esau is he is a genius when it comes to crafting up mischief. I'll give him that. But it's not like it's like his own will, like he's this great genius. You could take any nation and give them free slave labor for hundreds of years. Of course they're going to be rich. Of course they're going to be well off. They got years of free labor. Not having to pay a soul. Even you open up a business and you have something that somebody wants and you ain't got to pay employees or nobody, you're going to be making money hand over fist. But Esau, he got it deceitfully.
Let us get the same opportunity and see what we do with it.
Right. What do we do with it? And so, again, it shows you that in the movie Killers of the Flower Moon. I've never seen a movie just depict it so perfectly.
Sorry, man.
It literally shows you step by step how wicked Esau is. That was the point. You got a precept?
16 and 11.
This is Job chapter 16, verse 11. The Most High hath delivered me to the ungodly
The ungodly is Esau, Edom.
and turned me over into the hands of the wicked.
Right, and that's the predicament that we are in as a people, worldwide, really, worldwide. Because you got these lands like in South America or the Caribbean that are considered sovereign, but are they really? You know, all these various countries in the Southern Hemisphere or in the Caribbean, you know, they still owe debt to the very people that they were enslaved by. Like, how does that make sense? You know, they say Jamaica still owes money to Great Britain. Haiti still owes money to France. But how is that possible? When for years and years, they was taking advantage of it and had to work for free.
Yeah, Haiti's infrastructure is terrible.
But you know why? Like, one of the reasons why like Haiti's so poor is because they were shut out from the world economy.
Yeah, the ports.
Because they was the first people to defeat Esau. They was the first, and they was planning on freeing everybody.
Yeah, they was helping other nations liberate themselves.
They went over to DR and helped liberate them.
Belize.
And then what did they get in return? You know, Dominicans, they don't get along with Haitians. They think that they better than Haitians, but yet Haiti helped them.
That's the spirit that Levi has on them. Then they went out and tried to liberate other places. But this is Job 16 and 11.
Yeah.
It says, the Most High hath delivered me to the ungodly and turned me over into the hands of the wicked. I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath also taken me by my neck.
Yeah, we was at ease when we was by ourselves. You know, we wasn't under a capitalist system. We was hunter and gatherers. We knew how to farm the land. You know, we was doing pretty well for ourselves, all things considered. But as soon as Esau comes and colonizes a place and takes over, you know, that's when it's not even worth living life at that point. You just surviving, survival tactics.
Esau rolled through, he gonna leave your nation worse off than it was.
Exactly.
Every time.
Because how is it possible that Venezuela is the number one oil reserve in the world and they don't have nothing to show for it?
Right.
Like, how is that possible? It's because you got Esau that's ruling the world. You know, controlling the politics. You know how it is.
Yeah. Not breaking bread, keeping it all to himself.
Sanctions, government sanctions. That's one of the reasons why they want to, the BRICS, they want to get away from the U.S. dollar. Because they don't want the U.S. dollar to be a weapon used against them. You know what I'm saying? Because for years and years, they was doing it.
That's Esau's MO. If there ain't a law on something, he's gonna write up a law that's gonna benefit him, even if it's unrighteous. You know, Esau, that's his power too, that pen.
They say the pen is more mightier than the sword.
That's, yeah, real. Job 16 and 12. It says, I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath also taken me by my neck, and shaken me to pieces, and set me up for his mark. His archers compass me round about. He cleaveth my reins asunder, and doth not spare. He poureth out my gall upon the ground. He breaketh me with a breach upon breach. He runneth upon me like a giant.
That's it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Esau, he doesn't spare nobody. Not even his own people. I mean, you figure you let the inmates run the jail, you know, they gonna start killing each other. They gonna look out for their own kind or whatever. Esau gets his power, he's not looking out for like every Edomite. You know, there really shouldn't be no poor or lower class of Esau. There really shouldn't be. This is your world.
It's your kingdom.
If you're a poor Edomite, then you're a two-time loser. Blame your own people.
That goes to show you how wicked Esau is. Because when these people are in rulership, when we're in the kingdom of heaven, there's not going to be a poor, destitute Israelite anywhere on the face of the earth.
Exactly.
This is Ezekiel 36. We start at the 5th verse. It says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have..."
Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom.
It says, "which have appointed my land into their possession."
So they have control over the land of Israel today.
It says, "with the joy of all their heart, with deceitful minds to cast it out for a prey. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I have lifted up mine hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame."
Yeah, so eventually we're gonna get our revenge. However, as it stands now, we don't have our own sovereign land. Our homeland is taken over by the heathens. You understand? Why do you think you see all this conflict going on over there in the Middle East? The people of Palestine, they're Arabs. So that's why these Arab states feel as though they have a skin in the game. Feel like they have to get involved. It's all prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Remember we read Second Ezra. What was this? Chapter 16. Carmanians.
Yeah.
So you see how Iran is involved. Iran is the Carmanians. Carmanians is the ancient Persians, which the Persians are the Iranians. Okay?
The 15th chapter. It's like an Ezra 15.
Yeah, you want to get that and we close out on that? So that's another thing. That's another factor. World War III.
This is 2 Ezra 15 and 30. It says, "Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians."
So they're going to get together and fight against the U.S. and also Israel, which the U.S. has ties to them people over there, the small hats, the Amalekites.
We get under on this one, right?
They get trillions of dollars in aid, millions, whatever.
Yeah, they making that money by the hour. Like hours, they're making millions. They'll never go broke. This is
They could print all that money for them, but what about the U.S. citizens? That's another thing that people get mad about, as far as like what the government is doing. They're not doing nothing for the people.
Right.
You see what happened when those natural disasters struck back to back with the hurricanes.
No money for relief. Where's all the money at?
But they said that it's fishy. They're saying that that's a land grab because they're sitting on uranium over there in what was it?
I heard that.
Is it North Carolina or Georgia?
That was North Carolina.
North Carolina.
It says, and then here, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 30. I'll just read the 32nd verse. It says, "Thy sons and daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eye shall look and fail with longing for them all day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand."
No power.
We don't have no power here. This is our captivity. So all we could do is praise Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And Lord's will, we are of the elect, and He'll save us out of this bitch.
Think you got power? See what happens when you don't send your children up to the school system.
I'm gonna lock you up.
Once they come up to a certain age. The Rockefeller school system. They don't even teach you how to be a leader. They just teach you how to be a follower.
Like other Apostle Tahar says, that they don't teach you, they teach you what to think, they don't teach you how to think. That's really true. The shit that you come up learning in the school system, yeah, everybody should learn, you should know how to read, how to write, how to count. But after that, all the shit you learn after that is useless. Like what do I need to learn geometry for? What do I need to learn physics?
They teach you how to do what everybody else is doing.
Yo, it's nonsense.
Following the crowd.
They show you how to be a slave.
They don't teach you how to be an independent thinker.
Right.
How to do research and judge things righteously.
That was it.
Alright, so with that, we're going to close. Shalom.
Shalom.
Peace to the gods.